My feature-length look at Destiny 2's first 15 hours can be summed up as follows: the Destiny series has returned with a better story, superior zones to shoot bad guys in, and a more pronounced sense of purpose. It has also returned looking a hell of a lot like the series' first always online, first-person shooting game. Those initial sessions left me optimistic about the state of the sequel, which is why I chose to cover it in pre-review form at all, let alone in a positive manner. Still, I wanted to tell a more complete story of how much content ships in this game, and whether Destiny 2's network requirements might get in the way. 1 week of questing, shooting, and engram collecting later, I have a verdict. I do this knowing fully well that Destiny 2 has content-related surprises up its robo-armored sleeves, thanks to weekly events and the like. But I have mostly reached the edges of the game's on-disc content and can see the full picture of what Bungie expects its fans to play for weeks and months on end. In short, Destiny 2 has an ideal first-person shooting player in mind, the kind of player that values a compelling hop-on-a-few-times-a-week game of exploration and adventure as much as a game that's about sharp shooting. Destiny 2 soundly beats its predecessor in terms of confidence and swagger, although a heap of repeated loot may leave a few gamers in the cold. In fact, it may annoy OG Destiny fans to boot. Destiny 2 is what the first game should have been all along, which means, at long last, there's a Destiny game finally worth recommending. Why I've been late to work every day for a week. I'll start with the game's campaign, because it's the river from which all other Destiny 2 conversations must flow. The story doesn't expand much beyond what I saw during my pre-review sessions. An evil force known as the Red Legion has come to crack open the original game's Traveler, a massive, mysterious orb that floats over Earth and grants this series' heroes many powers, including immortality. You are one of the rare Guardian heroes who somehow regained your original powers after a terrible Red Legion attack. You are tasked with facing off against the Red Legion, disrupting its nefarious plans, and reclaiming the Traveler's powerful light force. There's a basic through-line to the campaign. Your mission: explore new planets and moons. Find, assist, and regroup with the original game's Guardian leaders, Ikora, Cayde 6, and Zavala. From there, restore enough of your lost power, via experience points and increasingly better loot, to take on Major Red Legion baddie Domino Squall. He's the one who opens the game by downgrading your Traveler-fueled powers in the first place. The trick about Destiny 2 is that the campaign isn't exactly a straight line, choreographed run-through missions. There's definitely a progression, marked by highlight missions that you have to do in order. But the game is designed with a free-flowing, come-back-for-more system. This approach delivers combat around every corner and plot around some of those corners. On paper, it's all very similar to Destiny 1. You'll fly to one of the 4 default planets, then run around and pick up a variety of quests that pop up in your vicinity. The first Destiny was pretty awful, however, at leading players to intriguing paths and battlegrounds. The starting 4 planets in D1 proved to be short and architecturally boring. D2, on the other hand, has planets and moons stuffed to the gills with structural density, intriguing biomes, and paths that weave above, below, and through the ground for the sake of compelling marches through gangs of entrenched foes. I've described some of the planets' differences in the gallery above, but I must impress upon you, these new planets are gorgeous, dense, and varied. The same goes for the missions packed into their bones. Pretty much every night since the game's launch, I've lost hours falling into the D2's default gameplay loop. I'll land on a planet of my choosing, then activate a patrol mission. This leads me to 1 or 2 delectable battles, with largely the same enemy types and species from D1, with more variety among each species' ranks, dancing around with very sharp dodge and flank or U-charge, I-snipe tactics. After that, I can pop an adventure flag to run and fight across 3 or 4 increasingly tough battlegrounds, which the game leads me between via checkpoint markers. Along the way in that adventure mission, I will almost certainly run into either a public event, which is a time-limited opportunity to take down a massive boss or major objective, or a legendary enemy, which is just a tough, oversized creature who pops up somewhere on the map with a vague hint of lights and sounds when you're close enough. Through all these paths, there's always a combination of an intense, underground rumble, A massive, open field assault with other online players at my side, and a dart between buildings.